保持安静，请把手机都调成静音。比赛期间不要使用手机，谢谢。
Well, this is the clash of the giants. I mean, just think they've had 56 meetings between them, 3 draws, 56. That's unbelievable.
A rivalry that has lasted in excess of a quarter of a century.
Thank you. The first break, Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Well, sit back and enjoy.
Ronnie O'Sullivan has dropped just 4 frames, sorry, in the 4 matches he's played in Shanghai this week. 5-2 over Gary Wilson, 5-1 over Joe Perry, a whitewash of Barry Hawkins, and then 5-1 over Mark Williams.
I don't know about their juices flowing, Phil. I think ours is as well, isn't it? With the expectation.
"83 years of experience between them." Ronnie O'Sullivan turns 42 next month. Higgins now in his 43rd year. And it's great to see that they're both playing as well as they've ever done in the last 12 months or so.
Yes, and between them, they've amassed £17 million at the table. Ronnie on 9.2, John on 7.7. I think for me, it's the first 4 frames. It's where we're going to be at the interval. You know, will somebody take a lead, or it'll be two apiece? We shall see. Well, a little bit on the thick side. Ronnie can take this red on. He could stun over for the black. Yeah, John knows that as well. He's sat down. He knows that's a chance. He's, at this level, the safety has to be better than that. I think he could take this on and stun over. Well, held for the black. Well, where's the white? Oh, especially with the red now in bulk. Well, thinking it might be an early chance for Ronnie. It's a definite early chance for John.
1.
Higgins set up the showdown with O'Sullivan courtesy of a 5-1 win over Martin Gould, although his highest break was only 45. Both of these players have won this title before, and both have won a ranking title already this season. Both tied on 29, 7 behind the all-time leader Stephen Hendry. So a huge incentive for both today, not least because if O'Sullivan beats Higgins and goes on to win the title against Trump tomorrow, he will displace the Wizard at 4th in the world rankings.
$14. 15.
Ooh, that only just crept in. It was side door. He might have won a red here to the left corner. Well, the blue wasn't clean and he caught the pink on the way through. He tried to hit the reds first, I think. But again, I think he's been a little bit fortunate here.
Higgins 20.
Well, obviously he wasn't on the red, but it's a fairly good safety. It's got Ronnie slightly on the back foot here. Zagard's playing one back. Best of 11s, of course, these semi-finals, so a little bit of wiggle room for these boys. Judd Trump awaits in the final tomorrow. Yes, this is tricky here for Ronnie. Might just push the red to the cushion, or try and get the white there. But he's taken a calculated risk. Blocked the one to the middle, and I think he's left this red down the top cushion fairly straight. If John had any angle on it, then he'd be taking it on. But I don't think he will now. I think he might just play a safety again. There's no value in it really. Even if he gets the red, he'd be, well, there is a little bit of angle actually, yeah, perhaps there is. I was going to say if it was straight, it would be low on the black, but he can get out for the black here. That didn't help. There was a bit of a noise going in the background just as he was about to deliver the cue, which didn't help.
在比赛期间保持安静，谢谢。
It was never going to be an easy pot in any case. Missed it by quite a way.
One. Eight.
Not ideal for Ronnie here after that cannon. Well, I don't know. Can he see enough of that one? He might just be catching the red in front of it, actually. I just wonder if he's not landed on anything here. I don't think that's on. Nor does he. No, he wasn't on one.
Ronnie 8.
So Higgins miss on the awkward red, not costly.
Playing the one near the side cushion, but I think he's just looking to put the white on the top cushion here. Well, that's about the best he could do, really. If he'd have played sort of up and down, he could have easily got the double kiss and then collided into something on the way back. But it's not too bad. It's not difficult for Ronnie, though, to play another safety back into bulk. Well, he had a go, but he didn't want the double kiss. This could be costly. Well, that sounded like a kick to me. That sounded really heavy. I just wonder if it's pushed the red offline, because Ronnie's missed that by some distance. Oh. I don't know. I'll give him a slight benefit there.
He hit it thick, so it could have been a kick.
Well, Ronnie's just had a quick look at the red on the pink spot. There was a gap for the cue ball, but I think a little bit too dangerous, so again a safety. Just wait. Look at that. Very good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with those nearly 42-year-old eyes, is there?
No, nothing was. When he first came on the scene, 15, 16-year-old, he was raw, like all the youngsters are. He could knock them in off the lampshades, Phil, but he's had to learn the other side, of course, and he's one of the best now. Like all the greats have had to do. You can't just win... Mind you, haven't said that. Stephen Henge won a lot of frames just with breaks, not with safety. But he was a power scorer. He was unbelievable once he got in. I'm watching Ronnie in a Premier League match once, and just for 45 minutes all he did was just that sort of safety, up and down the table, thin edge, just get the pace, get the angle. It's incredible, really. And for all his talent, got away with that one a little bit. Where's the white, though? I was about to say, for all his talent, and we know he's the best, the most talented, gifted player we've ever seen, he works as hard in his game as anybody else.
And especially so in the last few months. And I think it's been very noticeable. His game has been sharper in the last couple of months, and it's been for 2 or 3 years. That's what helped him to that tremendous victory at the English Open when he missed just 6 pots in the final against Kyren Wilson.
Unlucky. Well, I was about to say with Ronnie when he went in off, and I don't know whether that was good or bad because he caught the red on the side cushion. He could have left the red at this end, but John only just missed that red. Another chance for Ronnie then. Can't guarantee where the white's going to finish here. Make sure of the pot. Oh, too thin. What's going on, Phil?
A few edgy shots in the early stages. But this is a great chance for Higgins.
One. Six.
It's pretty good. Take the red near the pink. The pink does pass the red to the left corner. Might run into the two reds into the pink spot, actually. Just open those up. Ooh,
7.
dear me. Again, that wasn't exactly clean.
Higgins will be mindful of the dangers of falling behind early to O'Sullivan, surely the greatest ever front runner, as he proved when they met last week. Higgins never recovered from a sluggish start, so determined to put that right today, and this is a great opportunity to get the first frame on the board.
Well, he's got the angle to stun over for the pink into the opposite corner. Just double check the red there, actually. I think there was enough room. Yep. Decided to go back for the
14.
blue. Well, again, that sounded a bit heavy. You know, it just took... it looked like he's taken the pace out of the cue ball. Now he's got to negotiate the ball colours. Ooh.
19.
Could have done with a nudge on the red there. Now you'll have to play the one near the corner. Well, I'll tell you what, Phil, if you wanted to try and get through that gap, play to get through that gap, you couldn't do it. Amazing.
And this is trickier than it might appear, particularly with the awkward queuing. Yeah, not easy those. No margin for error with these tight pockets.
He was so unlucky, you know, when the white came down the table. If he'd just nudged that red near the pink, he would still be at the table.
So a scrappy opening to this eagerly anticipated match. 39 the difference.
Ronnie was trying to free up the black there, being 39 points behind. Not great. Caught it too thick. Well, he's had a bonus there because the red was onto the middle. What a result that is.
An otherwise straightforward pot becomes extremely difficult.
And the thing is as well, Ronnie can't manipulate the cue ball. It might be running into a red on the cushion if he takes this pot on. That's made all the difference. Well, I think he has left a pot on here to the right corner, but what can John do with it? He might even take the one down the cushion, actually. He's got to be careful he doesn't play a push shot here. Can he play the cannon and just the black into a polyball position? He's playing for topspin. It's got to be clean.
1.
It's a good pot, but couldn't guarantee position.
Green ball. John Higgins 1.
Still bags of points there. 83 on the table, 40 the difference.
Yeah, sometimes with these top stars, Phil, we know that they, on many occasions, they always miss that one as well. They hit the ground running, don't they? But hang on.
Foul and miss. John Higgins 4.
But they both haven't sort of. Oh, he's hit the one on the cushion actually. John's just noticed that Ronnie did hit that red on the cushion. So referee Ivy Zhu will retract that foul 4 away. Yeah, just saying. I mean, normally these boys hit the ground running, but just at the moment, they're just not finding their feet so far. Well,
A comedy of errors.
strange start.
I think it's indicative of just how much it means to these two players. They're always desperate to beat one another. They regard a meeting as a barometer of where their game is at, as O'Sullivan misses again. And now surely this time there'll be no reprieve. They played a tremendous match at the English Open when O'Sullivan came from behind to win, which was indicative of just how sharp his game was at the time.
1.
Well, what's this? John's fifth chance in this opening frame. We don't often say that.
Yes, I think they'll both be pleased to see the back of this frame. Higgins now on the cusp of winning it.
No doubt.
8. Thirteen.
Just a touch too far. He's got a 54-point lead. Well, blue would make it 59 with 59 on. Still needs one more red.
19.
Yes, that's more like it. Well done.
20.
Well, a lot of chances on both sides here in this opening frame, but looks like the Scott's going to take it.
$25. John Higgins 25.
65 the difference. Just 51 left. Perhaps O'Sullivan just wants to get a bit more of a feel for things.
Well, this frame definitely over if this one goes in. Can't see Ronnie coming back then. Yep.
1. John Higgins 1.
Kind of sums up the frame, really.
Considered the first
But this
frame.
time, Ronnie O'Sullivan remains in his chair. Well, An error-strewn first frame, to be sure, but it's gone the way of John Higgins, and he'll be delighted, having been whitewashed by O'Sullivan last week at the Champion of Champions. He's already improved on that. He leads by a frame to nil. Second semi-final here in Shanghai. The winner, of course, to play Judd Trump in the final tomorrow. Trump having beaten Jack Lazowski earlier today, 6-3. Lazowski's first ever ranking semi-final. And he had a chance to make it 5-4, but lost out on a respotted black in what proved to be the final frame of the match.
Well, nothing wrong with that one. That's more like it. He can erase the opening frame if he can make a nice break here. Great pot.
Eight.
Again, just a little bit low on the black here. Should get it though. Aha. Oh, that's nicely done.
Well, 4 outstanding shots at the start of this frame from O'Sullivan, who's clicked into gear pretty dramatically.
Well, probably a little bit of annoyance from the last frame, Phil.
17.
Oh. Yeah, he thought he'd messed up there for a minute. If this is straight, he'll have to play on the red to the right centre. Can he get around? Enough angle. Trouble is though with well, no trouble with Ronnie's cue action, he can make angles from nothing.
24.
He has the highest break of the week, of course, a 144, 3,000 bonus for the highest break, unless it's a maximum, in which case it'll be a total of 8,000.
25.
What about John Higgins the other day when he went in off the brown, eh? Potted the brown, went in off in the middle, and there was all on blue, pink, and black that were on the spots. That was a pity.
30. 31.
Yes, that was in one of John's earlier matches against Zhao Yulong.
That's not ideal, though.
No, sorry, Phil.
38.
Looking at the red to the right middle. Oh, this isn't guaranteed. Trying to avoid the blue as well. You'd be thinking I might get another chance here. Always have to keep your concentration together, even when you're in the chair. Stop it, Phil, we've been there.
38.
I know what he was thinking.
O'Sullivan thought briefly about that very difficult red, didn't he? But he knows that he can't afford to take any sort of risks at this stage against Higgins.
No, and of course 2-0, then you have to win 3 to get back in front. So he wants to level up early and then just build from there.
It's a pretty good break of 38 there. That's unlike Higgins. Loose safety. That was the kind of error that cost him when they played last week. Some very uncharacteristically loose safety shots.
Yeah, the big question is, can Ronnie punish? Ooh, he might do now.
Well, a couple of outstanding long pots from O'Sullivan in this frame already. Higgins will have known the moment he hit that one that he might have to pay a heavy price.
Eight.
That was a little bit springy off the side cushion there. It's not bad though.
9. Sixteen. 17. 23.
Still 83 left, so a couple more reds to make absolutely sure for O'Sullivan.
$24. $29.
This then is frame ball, barring snookers.
30.
Well, a somewhat different frame to the opening one, where both players made a lot of mistakes, O'Sullivan in particular.
Well, we're in one of the best cities in the world, and we're watching two of the
37.
greatest players in the world. Oh, doesn't get better than that.
38.
O'Sullivan has dominated this frame, launched by that brilliant opening red from tight on the baulk rail. And then punishing Higgins for a loose safety.
45.
So battle joined.
46. 53. 54. 60. 61.
Just about enough for a century. And of course, Ronnie O'Sullivan with his eyes very much on the magical 1,000 career 100 breaks. He's already passed the 900 mark.
66.
903 to be precise. Oh, yes.
66.
Crowd enjoyed that one. And he might just be perfectly on the black. Terrific shot. Well, not as played.
74.
Possible 101 if he can clear the colours.
76.
And still work to do. Didn't want the kiss on the black. That's a shame. Well, he's going to have to pull out something pretty spectacular here to keep the century going. But it was a terrific break of 79 from Ronnie O'Sullivan after the initial 38, freezing out John Higgins in that frame to level the match. It's game on here in Shanghai, 1 apiece. Clicking into gear in style, breaks of 38 and 79, couple of excellent long pots. John Higgins not troubling the scorers in that one, so 1 apiece, the first to 6 for a place in the final and the possibility of £150,000 and as many ranking points. Judd Trump, of course, awaits the winner.
Yes, this one, and then one more before the usual interval. A lot of money at stake, of course, as Phil just mentioned, over the next couple of days, today and tomorrow. £32,000 these boys are guaranteed. 75 to be in the final. So they're playing for 43,000 today. It's great money, Phil, isn't it?
It certainly is. And as mentioned earlier, if O'Sullivan does go on to win the title, he will move above John Higgins in the rankings into 4th place.
And to think where he was in the rankings a couple of years ago when he took that year out. I can't remember, did he actually drop out the 16? I think he got to 14, didn't he? 14, 15 was the lowest he went, something like that. I don't think he actually went out of the 16.
It still beggars belief, really, doesn't it? That a player can miss an entire season, come back and win the world title in the way he did.
Well, that helps, doesn't it? What was it, about 280, 300, something like that, when he won it? But he won't be best pleased with that one.
Both, of course, have enjoyed very long stints as world number 1.
Well, he was hoping to get back for the blue. I don't know whether he was on this black or not, actually. I don't think so. Perhaps if he was tight to the cushion, it might have been on. So, blue, trying to get him behind the brown, I think.
John Higgins won.
Could have done better with that. Not criticising John, but as we know, Phil, these players expect to put the white behind the brown.
But and missed. John Higgins 4. Sorry.
He's going to have another go.
Yeah, that Ronnie was just waiting there to see what decision John was going to play. There were 2 or 3 options there, actually. I think it's probably a fraction more to the left because he could just about see the red on the right-hand side. Very, very fine. Ooh. And that was very fine. It's opened up 1 or 2. Just look at the pace there. You would have liked that cue ball behind the yellow, though, directly behind the yellow on the back cushion. Just like that. What I meant on the back cushion, but Ronnie, a little bit lucky there.
Hard to believe, isn't it, that their first ever meeting was the Dubai Classic back in 1994. 23 years ago. And here we are, nearly a quarter of a century later, and they're still at the very top of the game. It's not just the success they've had, is it, Mike? It's the longevity that they've managed to produce.
Well, that has been called foul miss, but I think that hit the red. I think it nudged it. Yes, getting back to that point, absolutely. I mean, I think the thing is as well, Ronnie was thinking about retiring 4 or 5 years ago, wasn't he? You talk about it and all that, none of that nonsense now today. He wants to keep playing. And I think John was thinking the same, well, if Ronnie could do it at that age, 40, 41, why can't I do it? And to be honest, I think Ronnie dragged John along a little bit. And they're still playing some great stuff, and it's amazing, isn't it?
I think they both have.
Yeah.
I think they both served as an inspiration to the other.
And they've both got great respect for each other as well. Ronnie, well, John aware of how good this guy is, but Ronnie also very aware of what a great match player John Higgins is and what a wonderful temperament he's got. A tough man to beat. Oh, hang on. He's got away with it. Well, should we start again, lads? Yeah, like I said, all those, tournament victories, 29 world ranking titles each, 16, 17 million between them. They've done it all, haven't they?
They have, and by way of comparison, we know how brilliant Stephen Hendry was. Greatest ever winner, without question. 7 world titles, 36 ranking titles, but he was never quite the same player after he hit 30. These two are now into their 5th decade, and they're still right at the top. Yeah,
true. I think Stephen was that sort of animal that he didn't just want to turn up and make up the numbers, did he? He just felt that if he wasn't lifting titles and silverware, his game was still pretty in good shape. But I don't know, had he lost the edge? But I mean, Stephen's had a wonderful career, absolutely wonderful. But he was that sort of person that he's thinking, I'm not just going to turn up. If I can't lift the trophies, then that's I'm done. And I mean, you can't blame Stephen for that, Phil, in as much that it's one of those great sportsmen and entertainers over the years that he wanted to leave at the top.
Having utterly dominated the 1990s in a way that no one has been able to do. Not even Steve Davis, who came pretty close in the 80s.
And just think about the amount of players that... I'm not taking nothing away from Steve Davis. He was head and shoulders above everybody. And there's no doubt about that. He was a machine. But the amount of players that were in the 80s and the talent compared to when Hendry started and came along, there was a lot more players. And so you calculate that against what Steve won as against what Stephen won. That's where it is. I mean, there's no doubt Steve was he was the man in the 80s. And then, of course, Stephen took over the mantle. But these two guys are still at it and still playing some great stuff. Oh, what about that? These have been cloned somewhere. They're only really 25, both 25. Good stuff. Bit pacey, but if he catches the green, it's not a problem. I mean, again, we could just go back to the matches, 56 in all. This is their 57th meeting. Well, including the 3 draws, it's 60. That's pretty good. He's got Ronnie wrong-sided here, especially where the black is. No, there's just enough of a gap there. Not bad. No, that's gone to the side cushion. The paintwork, as Joe would say. First mistake then, but again he might have got away with that. Caught the red on the way back. I don't think there's anything there that goes. Well, there might be one red into the right corner, but it's very risky.
Well, a little shake of the head from O'Sullivan. Perhaps he was slightly concerned he'd left something there.
No. Well, this might take a little time to get this frame sorted out, start to see it open up. Got to be careful though that you don't push anything over the corner, which is exactly what John has done. So the first mistake on the Scot then. Sorry, what am I saying? From Ronnie, my apologies. He might have left the plant. Thanks for that nudge, Phil, by the way. We've got the players the wrong way round.
Yes, it's been a slightly unusual start, hasn't it, to this match? Both of them have looked a little tentative at times. But this is a decent chance for O'Sullivan to get going in this third frame.
I think the other thing is, well, it doesn't really matter how good you are. If the balls go awkward, it's difficult for anybody.
7.
Wonder if
8.
one of these two players could yet eclipse the aforementioned Hendry's record tally of 36 ranking event titles. If one of them were to win this weekend, they'd be on 30. Ronnie O'Sullivan's talked about playing for another 8 years or more if he's still enjoying it. We know he looks after himself. And with all the tournaments now available, it's definitely a possibility. This is the 9th ranking event of this season alone, and we're not even halfway through.
Yeah, and we were thinking, just looking at the centuries, we're just thinking, well, nobody's going to get anywhere near the 775 of Stephen Hendry. Well, these two guys, one's overtaken it, one's very close. John's on 688, and Ronnie, of course, went into the 900 club last week. He's now on 903. And if he keeps playing, there is the possibility of going beyond 1,000. That would be unbelievable.
$22. 23.
Well, that's not worked out too well. Not sure whether he's on one here. Ah, the one past the black. And he had the angle to get onto the ping. Well, he's having to work hard for these.
Yes, and he made that shot look easy, but it really wasn't. He was close to the cushion, just off straight. Cued it superbly.
And that's all about technique. Just purely technique. Hours upon hours upon hours of practice.
$37. 38.
It's not bad. He's got the white high, so he can run into these two reds. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Gentle cannon. Couldn't have played it better.
I remember Ronnie O'Sullivan many years ago now, after one of his World Championship triumphs, talking about how when he feels at one with things out there, that he can make 45. The balls talk.
Well, he certainly was in Barnsley when he picked up the English Open. He played phenomenal there.
Sorry. 51.
Brett goes to 51, leads by 50. Still a bit to do. Still has the red down there, the green. He could probably go down, play on that one, get onto the yellow, then try and split the bunch at this end. In fact, he could do that from the black here, actually. Just a little bit high on the black, open up these reds. Wow, 52. Now then. If he plays the cannon, this could be the key shot. Not bad. And he's going into the other three reds 59. Here. Well, they're enjoying this. This is beginning to warm up. We haven't quite got there yet, but it's simmering. Well, he knew that he was hitting the other reds, but he's played it well. Well, he can just screw off the side cushion here. Coming behind the red. 59 the lead. He needs the pink and one more red. Well, typical Ronnie and typical of a top flighter, Phil, isn't it? That, they get a chance like that. No, there was nothing on, really, was there?
60.
Absolutely nothing on. He's made a half chance into a full one. This is why they are the best.
It was Higgins who had
67.
the first real opportunity after that extended bout of safety. Couldn't take it. And that's proved to be his last opportunity of this frame, although O'Sullivan misses the black, catching the red inadvertently. There's still 59 there, so Higgins has decided to concede. O'Sullivan then leads by 2 frames to 1. To take a 2-1 lead, having lost a scrappy first frame. John Higgins hasn't quite settled yet.
No. Ronnie's just popped out for a comfort break. It's quite a fair walk, actually. So, might be a little while before he comes back. Ivy Zhu has set the balls up for frame 4. An interval after this one, of course. The big question, of course, is can this man make it 2 apiece at the interval? Because if it goes 3-1, Phil, then goes 4-1, we know what Ronnie's like when he's in front.
This is their 4th meeting of the season already, and O'Sullivan has won all 3 that they've played so far. First up at the Hong Kong Masters, that brand new invitational event, 5-4, and then the 4-3 at the English Open and the whitewash last week at the Champion of Champions.
I think this frame for John Higgins is really important. You know, if it goes 2-all, yes, he can win from there. I'm not saying he can't win from 3-1, 4-1, but for the 2 players this week, for me, Ronnie has just been in slightly the better form, actually, over the week. So he knows the importance of this frame. He can win from there.
Thank you. Frame 4, John Higgins to break.
And he didn't need to do that. He should never hit the blue off the break. Just caught the pack a little bit on the thin side.
Yes, and he did that a couple of times against O'Sullivan at the Champion of Champions. Very unlike Higgins.
Well, he didn't take advantage.
No rest for the righteous. Whoever comes through this match, whoever loses, they'll both be on the plane from Shanghai back to the UK for the Irish Open, which starts, of course, on Monday. The second leg of Eurosport's Home Nations Tour. Ronnie O'Sullivan, the only player who could still win the £1 million bonus, so he'll be there for sure. There are still tickets available. Promises to be a great tournament. Of course, Mark King will be defending his title, having won his maiden ranking event 12 months ago, beating Barry Hawkins in the final. And buying everyone pizza afterwards to celebrate. So I'm kind of hoping Mark does it again.
That was like Ranieri, wasn't it, when the Leicester boys won? Put them all out for pizza.
Just not quite happening for Higgins at the moment.
Well, lucky he didn't get the double kiss.
It's just a reminder, worldsnooker.com is the place to go to buy your tickets for the Northern Ireland Open. 7 days of action in Belfast from Monday.
The little matter, though, I'm sorting out the Shanghai Masters this weekend. Well, again, it's beginning to become a comedy of errors for John Higgins. This is so much unlike him. Semi-final of a major tournament.
Mentioned at the start that he didn't score heavily in beating Martin Gould, but he was never really under pressure, winning 5-1, didn't make a half century, but was always comfortable. Today, looking rather uncomfortable at the moment.
Well, Ronnie, if anything, just caught that a little bit on the thin side. He was trying to get in behind the brown there. Possible red here for Ronnie to this right corner. He can avoid the pink. Should be on something down there. Afraid. Hang on though. Could do with a full ball kiss on the yellow.
1.
Didn't get it.
Ronnie 11-1.
Well, okay, he's hit one, but he's left one on as well. And I just wonder whether the black's available on that left-hand side. Ronnie just checking that now. Well, if that black goes, this could be a big mistake from John Higgins. It's not the perfect angle, though. It's the wrong side of the red. I just wonder whether... Well, he's had a look at the pink. I thought he might just screw into the black, actually, but... Can he get on the pink to the left centre?
One.
No. Won't be best pleased with that one.
Green ball. Ronnie 11-1.
Well, once again, John in a lot of trouble. Ronnie just waits for the opportunity. Dead weight onto the two reds, left-hand side. Has to be dead weight, though. He might leave one on here. Has he got there? No.
Foul and miss.
Well short.
Ronnie 11-4.
Yeah, he's really struggling at the moment, Higgins.
The touch doesn't seem to be there, does it? He's a little bit all over the place as regards that. Well, Ronnie might put this back because it's not an easy red to take on. I wonder.
Position as well.
Well, it's a tough pot, Phil, but he's at the table, isn't he? That's the thing. He doesn't like it. No, he doesn't like it. Because the thing is, he puts it back. He's sort of tempting John into hitting this red on the left-hand side, just over-hitting it, so he'll leave the red down the cushion. That's, I think, what he's thinking is. You know, OK, John might get it right this time, but on the other hand, he might not. And let's not forget, if he does the same again, you can see a red on, he will be warned. Then he will have to hit one.
You. Okay.
I think John was just asking for the still frame.
看不见。这边。
It doesn't make a lot of difference, does it, if truth be told, given the shot he's looking to play, which is to lay up to those reds on the side cushion.
Yeah.
Underhit it by quite a margin last time. Obviously worried about overhitting it.
I think he's going cushion first here, just a rest on the left on red. Caught slightly the angle of the pocket and it's come away from the side cushion. And this is an easier pot now for Ronnie. He won't be putting it, well, can't put it back on, I'm saying, he hit the red anyway. The big question is, the black, does the black go? I don't think so, but he'll have to get over for the pink. But this is definitely a better chance than the last one.
Wow, that was a strange one because O'Sullivan was in about 3 or 4 minds there, and in the end he just threw his cue at it. What a let-off for Higgins, and this is a big moment now in this match. Higgins has struggled so far. If he can get out of this mini-session at 2-all, he will be highly delighted.
Absolutely. Well, I think Ronnie was trying to create an angle there that wasn't actually there. Trying to force the red in.
1.
Nicely done. Would have preferred to have been on the black, but I think he will have to take the pink. Well, I don't think John can believe that he's back at the table so soon.
Yet to make a break of any significance. The first frame which he won was very scrappy. This is a good chance to put that right.
8. $15. Yeah. Thank you. 16.
Dear me. Oh, he nearly missed that. And just look where the white's finished as well. He's caught it that thick that he's finished above this red. He might have to take the black here. Well, there's no doubt, Phil, John's struggling at the moment with the technique to, you know, delivering the cue. It's not looking smooth, is it? I mean, this is no gimme at the moment. If he was absolutely flying, I said, yes, no problem, but... Hold on.
Well, that should restore a bit of confidence, because he knew if he missed it, he was leaving O'Sullivan a great chance.
$24.
Yeah, John's not fired. And to be honest, Ronnie's not been at his best either yet. We're waiting for things to happen, aren't we? Waiting for the switch to be flicked. It might happen in the second half. But as you say, Phil, I mean, 2-2 for John Higgins here would be a result. He'll feel like he's won the session 3-1.
Yes, and then 15 minutes to regroup.
I must admit, there's not been too many frames that have been what we call clean. The balls have gone a little bit awkward. It's gone a little bit scrappy. The players have had to really work hard to put anything together.
32.
That's better. Oh, that struck that one nicely. But again, it's gone awkward over the red, but he has the black. It's hard work if that cue ball doesn't land in the correct place. And he played that beautifully. Gone wrong again. He was trying to get in behind the red to the right middle.
39.
Might even play a safety here. Well, I'd be very surprised with a 29-point lead as Ronnie looks on if he goes for this red to the right corner pocket. He just wants to try and keep Ronnie in his chair as much as possible if he can, or at least keep him at bay, and then just, you know, just chip away with this lead and get this fourth frame on the board. That's the right shot.
39.
Good cue ball from Higgins, but still a long way to go in this all-important fourth frame. The breaks so far have come from O'Sullivan, 79 in the second, 67 in the third, which was very well manufactured.
What about this one? What about this one? Oh, just a little bit narrow. I thought it was going in behind the yellow there. Well, at least he's covered the one over the left corner. But the red to the right is on. It's tough. Well, a test of his cueing, and it's dead straight. It's not there, Phil, is it? It's not there. He's again come across the line of the shot.
Yes, when you're struggling, that's a horrible sort of shot, isn't it? It's a little bit lucky to see the green cover the pocket. O'Sullivan has this one, though.
One.
It's another scrappy sort of frame, but they're all so important.
Four. Five. Twelve.
Well, if O'Sullivan clears up here, it'll be one of the finest clearances of all time. Reds very awkwardly placed for now, but it's all about getting back into the frame.
Nicely done. And he's on the brown. He's got an angle just to miss the yellow and come down and disturb these reds. Well, again, you know, he's 16 points behind, but this could be a key shot, especially with the cannon. Well, obviously not as intended.
17.
He had to get a lot of action into the white there. Another day, he might have pushed that red over the corner. Ooh.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 17.
Well, not the prettiest four frames we're seeing this week, Phil.
No, the second one was very well played by O'Sullivan. The others have been quite scrappy. O'Sullivan certainly looked the stronger of the two.
One.
And again, Higgins fails to find position.
Yeah, always difficult, though, when the reds are close to the corner, just to gauge the pace. It's been tough for these two boys so far, where the balls have run. What's John thinking here? Is he thinking yellow? Around the angles for the cannon? I think he is, you know. Well, he's got the pot. What about the cannon? Oh, lovely. That will do nicely.
3.
That's more like it from the wizard.
Well, he grasped the nettle there a bit, Phil, didn't he? Could have played a safety, chose not to. Well, can't say back to normality, but he's left himself under a little bit of pressure here with the black.
This is a horrible shot. Really horrible.
I think these two boys, whatever the score is, they'll be glad to get into the interval. They won't be enjoying this. Is he playing the pink? Well, not bad now. Turned out to be okay, and he's got a 22-point lead, and he's pushing on the red into the open.
10.
Great chance to make it 2 apiece, which will set things up nicely for the second half. Okay, there's been no fireworks yet.
11.
Oh, John, what have you done there? Oh, well, shall we start again?
hard to fathom, really. Higgins seems to have struggled with the pace of the table today. He's been under-hitting and over-hitting on quite a few occasions. That was a terrific shot. But he's faced with a tough one here. 23 in front, still 43 on the table.
I don't know whether it's just me, Phil, but I don't know whether this table's been a refit for the semis, but it just looks like it's playing heavy. You know, they're really having to work the balls, and well, this is a big shot. Walked away from it.
John Higgins, 11.
Yeah, the concentration's just not there at the moment for Higgins. Confidence has drained away a little bit.
Well, you had a quick look at the pink there, John Higgins, Phil. I just wondered whether that was another kick. And I tell you what, these two boys might be discussing the set of balls. They could change the set of balls at half-time. Because obviously something's going on, and they're struggling to move them around.
What?
They really are. They might have just a little bit of a chat with each other as they go off for the cup of tea, whatever.
Well, this frame is becoming bigger by the moment. O'Sullivan will feel as though he probably should be 3-1 in front on the balance of play, but he's got to make it happen.
Might play on the red for the double here. Can he move it off the side cushion? He's gone for the cannon. Ooh.
5.
So 18 the difference now with 35 remaining. Double kiss, that wasn't intended.
Ronnie on 11, 5.
What a result he's had, though. Holds his hand up. Well, these two all-time greats showing that they're human.
Yeah.
It's quite good to see, actually, that.
Yeah. The lads playing in their local leagues will be loving this. They'll be thinking, well, there you go.
Ball in the mid. Ronnie on 11, 4.
I told you it was a tough game.
Well, that was a massive stroke of luck for O'Sullivan, no question about it. Completely mishit the safety. And it could prove to be rather valuable. He's already got 4 penalty points from it. Higgins hitting and hoping here. He's got to hit the red, he's got to leave it safe.
Good hit. Has he covered it? Well, the answer is no.
This is tough, though. Does he take it on? It's a very tough pot. If he misses it, he's almost certain to lose the frame. If he gets it, could well be a frame winner. So decision time for O'Sullivan, and I think he's in 2 minds. Very, very tough pot. Doesn't look any more inviting from there. But nothing safe as regards the colours. Yeah. It's still fairly early in this match, but this frame is so big. Decided to err on the side of caution. Not the best safety, though, and now perhaps he wishes he had taken it on. Wow, this has been a ragged frame, a largely ragged session, with the exception of the second frame, which O'Sullivan played superbly well. It's another chance for Higgins. If he can knock this red in, it should be 2-all. He's overcut it by quite a way. $14 the difference, 35 there. That looks like a pretty useful second prize for O'Sullivan. Higgins back in trouble. Good hit, but he's left the red. It wasn't clean, but it went in. Slightly in no man's land, though, as regards the next colour. Getting onto the yellow, not straightforward.
Seven. Nine.
That's a good pot from O'Sullivan. Higgins watches on nervously. He had a chance to clinch the match. Clinch the frame, I should say.
12.
Again, a stun shot from O'Sullivan. Didn't quite get the action on the cue ball he wanted. This is a more acute angle. He wanted to be straighter on this brown. He needs the brown, the blue and the pink. Oh, this will be some shot.
16.
Oh, what sort of angle has he got from blue to pink, if any? Oh, it looks straight. It looks horribly straight.
Trying to power it in, though. Trying to force an angle. Oh, what a pot that is. Keep going.
21.
Keep going. Keep going. He's got there, you know.
What a shot.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. I mean, there was no angle there, but he made one from nowhere. Frame ball.
Oh, that is a big, big frame for Ronnie O'Sullivan to steal at the last. John Higgins had his chances. He's really struggled as the wizard in that session. And I think the scoreline reflects the balance of play in the end, with Ronnie O'Sullivan taking a 3-1 interval lead. He's halfway to a place in the final. So an all-important frame 5 coming up here. Can Higgins find his best form and close the gap to 1, or can O'Sullivan strengthen his grip on this semi-final?
Thank you. Frame 5.
It's the rocket to
Ronnie
break.
O'Sullivan to break.
Well, he's pushed the red over the corner and he hasn't got the cover. And the last thing John wanted to do was give Ronnie an early chance in this one. Well, he can pop the red, and it depends the path of the cue ball, which could go between the red and the pink, actually. Depends on the pace. Always try and make sure of the pot, though. Caught it thick. Oh, well, it was okay till he nudged the red and black. Can John see this red? Have a look at this. The cue ball's stuck on the pack. At that moment, it's safe.
I've got a feeling it might still be safe. He may have dodged a bullet there, O'Sullivan. There you go.
Yeah. Good shout, Phil.
Higgins buries his frustration at not being left with a good chance there by playing a good safety.
Wow, that's a bit of a result. Not necessarily with the positional side, but to fluke the red. Mind you, it would have been safe, I think, unless that red had stayed over the corner. So we can say, Phil, they've had one each.
This one? Just a strike. Aus beides so.
All sorts of weaponry concealed under the table. Needless to say, this is about as awkward as it gets. Well, that's part one of the assignment, but now he's got to reach.
Well, he's going to be like an eagle here, holding the rest of them, unless he takes over the top of the others, of course.
Yeah, make sure it's screwed together properly.
The worst scenario there, Phil, would have been to drop the cue on the reds, wouldn't it?
It must have happened.
Oh, yeah, it has. Well, there's applause, but he won't be best pleased.
Going for one.
He wanted that white tight to the cushion. Again, a few applause, but again, Ronnie wanted the white tight to the cushion. This is a little tempt on the left-hand side, and John, if he knocks it in, will be on the black. No. Wow. Didn't fancy it. That just shows you there, Phil, the sign of how John is feeling. He knows he's not cueing well at the moment. He's trying to build himself back into this match. But normally, he'd be taking that red on. Turning the screw. Has he gone too far? Can John see this red? He can. Well, I'll tell you what, it's tough knowing that you're leaving another one. I think he's playing the safety, actually. White back to the back cushion. Well, it's got to be said, Phil, at the moment, John Higgins is all over the place.
Strangely below par, as he was when they last met last week.
Well, John refused the pot to that corner. Ronnie didn't.
Spotted a couple of outstanding reds from distance today, O'Sullivan. His long game as good as ever. When you've got the short game that he has, that's a pretty potent combination.
8. Nine.
And he's still passionate about this game. We saw how cross he was when he failed to take Sean Murphy to a decider in the final of the Champion of Champions, and he missed a very tough green.
Yes, it was.
16.
And to be honest, who knows what would have happened after that? He got 9 apiece, Phil, because he was on the up and up, wasn't he?
17.
Yes, it was a great win from Murphy. He hasn't had the best of records against O'Sullivan, particularly in the longer matches, but I think thoroughly deserved his win. As O'Sullivan said afterwards, the better man won on the day.
Yeah, I won't disagree with that. Sean stood his ground. Well done to him.
And of course, he's had this week off because he didn't qualify for the Shanghai Masters, so he'll
24.
be fit and firing for the Irish Open.
Likes to watch a lot of snooker, though, doesn't he, Sean, when he's not playing? I'm sure he's watching this. Oh, hang on. Oh, hello.
Oh, that's very unlucky. And it might just be the catalyst for something of a momentum shift in this match. We will see. O'Sullivan looking good for 4-1 there. Very unlucky to see the red disappear as well. Now, this is an opportunity that John Higgins really has to grasp. Again, it's awkward, and that's been the story of the match so far for the Wizard. Everything's been a bit of a struggle. Extension on the cue to give him a bit more leverage.
1.
Well, for me, if he's got any chance at all to win this, to be winning this semi-final, he's got to make the most of this.
Eight. 9. 15.
Nice control there. I think he's got a little bit of angle on this black. No, not much. He can screw back off the side cushion into those two reds for the other one. Well, he's gone for the open red, that's fair enough. That, of course, that opens up the other two reds, but he's playing the one to the middle. And again, just going back to that point I've just made, Phil, for me, this has to be a winning contribution.
Well, it was an unexpected opportunity after O'Sullivan's lucky, or unlucky, moment just now when he was in, knocking in a red along with the black. Couldn't have anticipated that happening. You'd certainly have backed him to go on to win the frame had it not happened. There's a big difference between 4-1 and 3-2 in a first to 6, best of 11.
Well, normally, with this man at the table, you'd say frame over. But as we know, he has been struggling in the semi-final so far. Doesn't take much, though, for things to turn around with these players, these great stars. You know, just one good frame, a decent break. Confidence goes up a few percentage. And suddenly, you've got table time. He's just hasn't quite had the touch so far today, Phil, has he? But, you know, hopefully, if he gets this one under his belt, it might come.
Be a real boost if he can do the business here.
$37.
Well, I don't think anybody's in his eye line here. There's no disturbance. I think he's just making up his mind which way to play it. Just stun off the back cushion for the yellow, I suppose. Or around again for the blue. Well, that will do then. He was able to hold. That's fair enough. He has a lead of 22. And, well, they're all available.
$40. $41.
Pink and one more red will be enough.
It's already his best break of the match by a distance.
47.
Well, apologies, my math's as good as ever. He needs a colour from this red. I'll tell you what, though,
48.
he needed this big time. It's not the perfect angle for the next red. It looks a little bit straight on the pink, but it doesn't matter. He's just checked the scoreboard. He's 32 the lead. This will make it 38, 35 on. Could have done with trying to get onto that red, actually. But it's only one snooker for Ronnie. Well, he's left it high. That's fair enough. Well, the audience have done their maths, but it is only one snooker. He knows
54.
He needs to put this one away. Well played.
55.
Well, considering what's gone before, this has been very good.
Yeah, a lot of pressure on this break. But he's delivered, as he so often has in the past, when he's been under the cosh. And it's just a one-frame gap. You saw the look of anguish on O'Sullivan's face when he saw the red disappear with his
59.
intended black. He was looking good for 4-1, and that would have taken a bit of
6-1.
retrieving with Higgins struggling as he had been. Might be a different match now.
$64. $68. $73. $79. And the front.
A very nice clearance of 79 to the pink from John Higgins to put him right back in the mix here in Shanghai. Ronnie O'Sullivan a little unlucky on that occasion to see the red disappear with the black when he was in for 4-1. In the event, it's 3-2. So O'Sullivan needs 3, Higgins needs 4.
Unbelievable.
Too right. You gotta love Betway's new 4 to score feature.
What?
Because it's free to play every week. You simply predict the first teams to score in the top 4 English leagues.
Something.
I will. I could win 25 grand.
Hurry.
You don't need to ask me twice. Done. I've got a good feeling about this.
Really?
Oh, electrifying stuff.
Oh, for the love of the game. Betway.
John Higgins will be feeling a whole lot better after, by far, his best break of this semi-final so far. A 79 after Ronnie O'Sullivan was in, potted the black as intended, but saw a red disappear to right centre with it. And that left Higgins with the chance to hit back, which he did impressively. So it's just one frame between them at 3-2 O'Sullivan.
Yeah, and the last red there wasn't guaranteed, Phil. It still had to be knocked in, didn't it? Really, 38 the difference in one red. But as you say, a good clearance. Wasn't bothered about the black. He's done the damage anyway. So, right, well, he's right back in this. Now then, can he level up the match?
From 6, John Higgins to break.
That's pretty good. I think he's just about covered the red on the left-hand side. Well, that's very good because what about that for Ewing? There wasn't much sticking out of that red beyond the pink. Again, that was a mile away. Well, John Higgins at the moment would be so frustrated. I mean, that was a great clearance to the pink, the 79 in the last, but his long game, well, it's not been close. And in missing that one, he's left Ronnie in with an early chance in this one. And having just pulled that frame back, you don't want to gift the next one. And he might have just done that.
Controlled that very nicely, didn't he? To stay on the black.
Well, that was clever, because before he hit that red, it wouldn't pot. But he shifted the other one away from it.
8. Nine.
Well, yes, Ronnie was a little bit unlucky with that red going to the middle. But he can make amends here. And I suppose at 3-2, that would be a good time to make the move. These guys are very good, though, Phil, aren't they? Just erasing frames like that out of the memory banks. Let's move on.
17.
It's one of the great attributes you can have as a professional snooker player, the ability to blot out what's gone before. It's so difficult to do because, of course, this game and the way it's set up means that you've got a lot of time to think about things when you're in your chair and mull over what might have been, what could have been, what should have been.
Yeah, they should have called it ifs, buts and maybes. That is professional sport for you.
25.
Great crowding. There will be tomorrow as well for the final. Over 19 frames. It will be double your money time tomorrow, Phil.
32.
Yeah, it's a serious big prize, isn't it? 150,000 to the winner, 75,000 to the runner-up. A big increase on last year for this tournament. I believe the winner last year got 85,000.
33.
Well, gasps from the crowd, or groans, because they were already thinking of a potential 147 there. In the event, O'Sullivan's going to have to come up with something pretty impressive to keep the break going.
Pink to the middle, is it? Down for the red.
Ronnie O'Sullivan, 33.
Well, I don't think he's left that red, actually. I don't think he's gone well far enough between the brown and the green. Well, that was never in.
Very awkward queuing for O'Sullivan.
Well, it seems that John can get through here. No. Ooh. Well, if I'm just looking at thinking ahead here, actually, Phil, looking at the provisional rankings, and you know, tomorrow, if Ronnie does come through this one, it's going to be really interesting, because it sets up the situation where Judd, if he wins, goes to number 2, but of course Ronnie would go above John Higgins at number 4, so that's going to be some clash. But you know, it's only 3-2 here. It could still be a long way to go in this match. This guy obviously hopes so, especially if he can make it 3-piece. This is a very interesting part of the semi-final now, as to possibly which way it might go. Well, it's a good cue ball, but the reds come down the table. Well, the applause are there from the crowd, but this red is on to the middle. Well, this is a... Oh, he's not playing it. He's playing the other one. Fair enough. Oh, what about that? And he's on the pink. Great pot. Well, this could be trouble for John Higgins. I thought he might take the one on to the centre, but that's great cueing from there, Phil.
It is. I think the centre one was very thin, wasn't it? And no control over the cue ball as a result. But he stroked that long one in very nicely. And having come to the table 33 in front, this is a great chance to get 2 frames clear again.
7. 8. 13. 14. 20. 21. 27. 28. 34.
Just this red then.
35.
Well, once more, you know, well put together. A little bit easier than 1 or 2 he's had earlier on in this semi-final, but... Having said all that, he's played a poor one.
40.
Only 59 left, so 4 snookers required.
I mean, the safety that John Higgins played, really, Phil, wasn't that bad. I mean, he got the white fairly tight to the cushion, although he'd left a couple of tempters, but the red, Ronnie's knocked in, was superb. Okay, nicely landed on the pink to start with.
40.
Is he coming back?
Higgins concedes 4 snookers, a bridge too far as he's concerned. Ronnie O'Sullivan moves to within 2 frames of yet another ranking final. He leads John Higgins by 4 frames to 2. And Higgins with a lot to do to turn this around. So the Rocket in control. We'll have frame number 7 after the break. O'Sullivan back first from the comfort break. Just a reminder, this is their 60th meeting in total, with O'Sullivan having enjoyed 31 wins to Higgins 25, 3 draws as well. Extraordinary rivalry which dates back a quarter of a century. They turned pro in 1992. 25 years on, they are still right at the top of the game.
Thank you. Frame 7. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
Both chasing ranking title number 30 this weekend, to move into 2nd place on their own behind Hendry. And if O'Sullivan really does intend to play for another 6, 7, 8 years or more, you would back him to eclipse Hendry's record tally of 36. Good safety from John Higgins. Normally, of course, he is as good as anyone in the business tactically. In the last couple of meetings with O'Sullivan, he's not been quite as proficient in that department. Needs to be now. Needs to keep O'Sullivan tied up.
Bit pacey. Ooh, hang on though. No. Nearly. It's not bad. Well, this is awkward here for Ronnie, especially with all the reds around the black spot, and he's just looking at this red above the pink. He might be forced into a pot here. It's very difficult to get the cue ball back to the baulk area. You might have to go for one. No. Well, okay, he's missed all the reds with the cue ball, but he's pushed one over the corner. And now he thinks, well, why didn't I go for one?
One. 7.
Well, there's plenty on, but they need sorting out, especially around the black spot. Plenty to go at, though, for John Higgins here.
13.
Just having to work out as to which way he wants to tackle them. Now, the red that he'd like to play on, as Ronnie looks on, is the one near the black spot, and then try and get onto the black. There's 2 reds behind the black. If he just tries to play on one of those, if he just finishes high on that one, or fairly straight, that's not too bad. But it doesn't have to play that just yet. He struggled a little bit. Sorry, Phil. He struggled a little bit in the semi-final so far. Is this the time for him to shine?
18.
Well, there's definitely been an improvement since the interval, the break of 79 to close to 3-2. Didn't have much of an opportunity in the previous frame. He's just got to keep plugging away.
19.
Don't know if he's got the angle on the black here to push the red away. Otherwise the black will have to go onto the yellow spot. Well, he hasn't, so it will go onto the yellow spot.
$26. 27.
Just a little bit short of pace, but I think he's got some angle, or there's not much there. He's going to have to do something with this cue ball. He's going to have to power this in. Not bad. Well, he could try and get on the pink here. Although the black's down the table, it doesn't matter. If he can get the pink onto the black spot, that would help.
$33.
Well, now then, just the black past the yellow.
$38. $39.
Well, again, not great, hoping to bring the cue ball away from those reds to be straighter on the pink to the middle. He's looking at the yellow now.
A bit of pressure on the yellow if he takes it on.
Well, he could play the black and drop in behind the yellow, but Again, I think he's going to have a go at the yellow here, but of course he's playing on the reds. Which, as you say, Phil, it has to go in. Well played. This is looking pretty good to me. Yep, excellent.
41.
Not often you see the yellow on the black spot.
No, I just think he's got to work hard here to get to a winning position, hasn't he? At this moment in time, I don't think he really cares about that. Well, he just put this frame on the board.
44. $45.
At this moment in time, the
47.
the little fish are sweet.
$48.
Lead goes to 50, 67 still there. It's obviously taking Higgins much longer than it normally would in this situation with the yellow instead of the black available.
Hold for the yellow here, split the reds, might get the pink back onto its own spot. Ooh. He's come across it.
Higgins 50. 请保持安静，谢谢。
Well, that was interesting because he played up for the pink. He wanted the high value colour into play and he had the perfect angle to split the reds there if he'd got the red. So there's still plenty on for Ronnie, although he has left this red on the left-hand side.
Yes, and he could have left it more easily than he has. Cue ball ending up on the side cushion. One good pot from Higgins, and it should be 4-3.
Those have not been going in, though. And where's that white going? Oh, he's left the red on. I wonder. His long game, Phil, has not been there. And every time he's gone for a long pot, John, he's hit everything on the thick side. Well, OK, Ronnie has a bit to do here, but it's a chance to steal.
1.
Or at least get right back in the frame.
Hmm.
And of course, had the black been in its normal position, Higgins would have been over the winning line a few minutes ago, but with only 2 points extra for every red potted, it left O'Sullivan this opportunity. Still plenty there for him to steal. And it could be a near fatal blow for John Higgins if he does.
8.
Still much to do, though.
That's no good. Needed a glancing blow on the black there.
37 now the deficit, 51 points on the table.
Is he having a go? No.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 9.
Just the way he was queuing up there, I thought he was taking that green on to get onto this bottom red. Well, John in good position here, but he has to be careful.
That's much more like it from Higgins.
Yeah. Oh, that red amazingly found its way between the pink and the black. But as you say, Phil, just look at the pace. Just a little bit of pressure on this one for Ronnie. Has to play a good one back. Well, he has done. It's not a bad cue ball, but he would have liked to have seen that red go to the cushion. This is a chance here for John Higgins. It's not easy, but he has a 37-point lead.
But this is the kind of shot, as Mike has mentioned, that he struggled with today.
Yeah, he's not been too bad in, but over distance. Wow, that was so close.
No damage done, though. I take that back. He's been knocking in the doubles this week, Ronnie O'Sullivan. He doubled the black yesterday to win a frame on a respotted black against Mark Williams. He didn't want the kiss on the blue, but what a frame this would be for O'Sullivan to win. It would be an absolute hammer blow for Higgins, who's looked in control of it for the best part. Good pot required here. And that is a tremendous pot. It really is.
Has he got an angle here to get down this left-hand side for the final red? Well, it looks fairly straight. I don't know, can he screw around it off the two cushions?
There's nothing much safe, is there?
Well, he's going to have to come off the side and top cushions here for this final red. I mean, well, he doesn't have to. He can drop it in there and leave the pot. Depends how close he wants to be. Oh, what about that? I mean, it was the touch of reverse side he had on the cue ball. If he doesn't get the side on, he might have been behind the yellow, but what a shot that was.
Well, we saw a quite brilliant pot earlier in the piece from blue to pink to take a 3-1 lead, and that was sublime.
Yeah. Well, he can take anything here for this final red.
11.
When he'd hit it, Phil, I thought he'd under-hit it, actually, but that side was still on the white, wasn't it?
Just fizzed off the cushion, didn't it?
Yeah, it was a Billy Fizz. No, a Billy Whiz. That's what Joe says, isn't it? Was that a Billy Whiz with a bit of fizz?
Well, the crowd was swooning over that one. Is it going to prove to be a frame winner and a 5-2 lead? 3 up with 4 to play. Higgins hoping for an error.
20.
Can't see it coming, though. Well, this will hurt the Scot.
23.
Needs them all.
27.
Well, that's not perfect by any means. It's quite a thin cut. A Has to control the cue ball for position.
Yeah. Keep going, keep going. Well, it's a little bit under strength. It's one of those, Phil, isn't it?
Yeah, this is nasty.
Yep. Will he just drop this in or go around the table?
Well, again, it's not just the pot, is it? It's position required on the black.
I think he's got to go around the table here. He's got more control with the white. He's got the pink. Where's the white going to finish? It looks good for the middle pocket, but hang on. Where's the white? Well, it's in the middle of nowhere. Now then, this red, sorry, the black, I should say. I'm getting carried away here. The black to the middle, I think, for 5-2.
A seismic frame. Big moment in this match. It's high. And luckily for O'Sullivan, it was high enough that it hit the jaw and has landed safe. If he'd got a bit closer, he'd have left it for Higgins.
Yeah, it was that bad. It was good. Like my golf shots.
Well, it was the positional shot from brown to blue that ultimately scuppered O'Sullivan there. So what a frame this has now become. The difference between 5-2 and 4-3. And that's a good one from Higgins.
Well, he's played one here. What a, yeah, absolutely. What a safety shot that is from John. What can you say?
Tremendous.
I'll tell you what, over the years, I've not seen Ronnie O'Sullivan in a lot of these black ball fights because he normally dishes up, doesn't he? Do you know what I mean? Fascinating, though. Well, this is all about pace, and it looks pretty good to me. Well played, sire.
Higgins has been hanging on today. If he could somehow win this frame, he's only one behind. It's still very much game on.
Well, look at this. Excellent. I'll tell you what, if that had been a fraction thinner, he would have left that. I don't think Ronnie will take it on. They'll send the black around the table. Excellent. This is great stuff.
It's been a bit of a slow burner, this match, but it's really beginning to boil up now. Particularly if Higgins can take this frame that could have gone either way already. Tremendous safety so far on this decisive black. Who's going to crack first?
Now then, will he play the pot here? Or around the table once more? There's your answer. Just a touch pacey. Is John tempted with the pot here? The white would be flying around the table.
Shades of 85. He's gone for it again, just as he did against Williams. He's got it again. Extraordinary end to a dramatic frame. And Ronnie O'Sullivan has come up with a bit of magic once more. Could have been 4-3, instead it's 5-2. The key frame in this match, because Higgins so close to making it 4-3, just one behind, even though he's been well below his best today. But Ronnie O'Sullivan conjuring a bit of magic with that double on the decisive black to make it 5-2. 3 up with 4 to play. A long way back now for the Wizard, Mike.
Well, it is. You know, that's a bitter pill to swallow. And I was just trying to remember which match it was that Ronnie played exactly the same shot. And of course, you mentioned it was against Mark Williams there in the quarterfinals, and an identical shot. But you know, these boys start doing that now. Instead of up and down and whatever, they're trying to put the black to the side cushion. But it's always open. If it's not absolutely enough further down the cushion, halfway, shall we say, it's always open to that double. And well, that was massive, absolutely massive. Is there any way at all that John Higgins can get back into this match?
Well, he's going to have to find a level he's yet to find so far today to win 4 on the bounce against Ronnie O'Sullivan, who once again has been rock solid. Moments of magic from the Rocket. It's not been a match about the big breaks. We've not had a century, but it's certainly been engrossing stuff. And that was such a big frame. O'Sullivan closing in then on his 4th victory this season against his great rival.
That's nicely done, though. Got Ronnie immediately snookered. What a blow that was, though.
And what a tremendous tussle before that on the black. Some fantastic safety.
Yeah, not one poor shot, was there?
Higgins probably felt safe enough when he played the cue ball and the black to the side cushions. O'Sullivan just got down and stroked it in.
Like I said, that safety shot to the side cushion has been introduced over the last couple of years, but it's like it's always open to that double.
Yes, it was interesting to see Judd Trump earlier today against Jack Lazowski in what proved to be the last frame of their semi-final, opting not to play the cue ball to the side cushion, perhaps mindful of what O'Sullivan had done against Williams yesterday. But it does seem to be the preferred option now when you're invited to break first on the tie-break black.
Well, I think Ronnie's come far enough away from the pack here that he looked a bit disappointed as he went back to the chair. He might have left John this red on to the left corner. I know it's thin, but I think it's a possible. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, I thought it'd gone in. I was watching the cue ball there.
Well, it was mighty thin. And there was always the danger that he would leave it over the pocket. Has the blue come to his rescue?
I don't think so, but he has to get back for the blue. Unless he can get over for the black. Well, that's what he tried to do, but... Well, if that cue ball had just travelled another 4 or 5 inches as we watch the replay, no angle there. Again, try to create one. Will he take on the blue? It's a bit awkward. It might be, you know. No, doesn't fancy it. Like I said, if the cue ball, if he wasn't hampered, I think he would have taken the blue on, especially with the loose red.
It was very awkward queuing for John Higgins. Made the shot so much more difficult.
Well, I think long pot success for John Higgins would be very, very low.
One.
Went for the split. Hang on. Oh, well.
Six.
I think there might be a red to the right middle, actually, but I think he was hoping that the white would finish middle of the table between the pink and the black spot. What's he playing here? Safety?
Nothing terribly appetising here for O'Sullivan, queuing just as Higgins had just now. Very awkward in the jaws of the pocket.
He had a quick look at the one on the right-hand side, Phil, didn't he, to see if he can cut it back in, but I think it's a safety. Or is it? Is he going for the red in the corner? No, it's the safety. Well, they'll be a little bit, well, they'll be more than a little bit disappointed there, because he would have expected to have been on the red and not in the blue. But he's left John Higgins another red here into the corner from distance. If we've seen, as we've seen so far, these have not been going in. Well, this has to go in, otherwise it might be the end. Just, well, he's not been on it from distance. Don't know why. He's been pretty good all week, but today it's just deserted him.
One.
Well, now then, Ronnie looking for the kill. It's not been one of the best matches that either of these players have played in their careers, but at this stage it's all about putting yourself into the final and starting again tomorrow. If Ronnie comes through, whoever came through this one, Philip, was going to be a cracker, wasn't it? But we know that Ronnie and Judd play a similar game, and they're going to have a go at each other tomorrow if Ronnie comes through here.
16.
It's looking increasingly likely that that will happen. Higgins said ahead of this match that he would have to play an awful lot better than he did at the Champion of Champions, but in the event, he has struggled again today.
Yeah, he'll be bitterly disappointed with this this performance.
24.
Just hasn't got going.
25.
I suppose other players on the list will say a semi-final in a major tournament, I'll take that. But these guys want the silverware, don't they?
Yes, and these days there's no time to dwell on any disappointments because there's always another tournament round the corner. In this case,
32.
Monday, of course, the Northern Ireland Open, second leg of the Home Nations. Tickets still available on the World Snooker website. Ronnie O'Sullivan looking to make it 2 out of 2 after his English Open triumph. Mark King will be defending the title he won last year in Belfast. And how he'd love to arrive in Belfast with ranking title number 30 under his belt. Well, he's giving himself a great chance to make that happen. Judd Trump awaiting the winner. O'Sullivan closing in
39.
on the final.
Well, a disappointing day for the Scot. He was hoping that things might have been better than this for him. Well, let's be honest. I mean, Ronnie hasn't exactly blown him away.
But what a big frame the previous one was.
Yeah.
Could easily have gone Higgins' way and it would have been 4-3 instead of 5-2. That's a very different equation.
I think that's the reason why Ronnie took on the double on the black, Phil, because worst case scenario for him was 4-3. He still leads. But the bonus was 5-2.
And this red and another black.
54.
And it's Snooker's required for John Higgins.
It's going to be a great day tomorrow. Whatever you're doing, cancel it. Ronnie O'Sullivan against Judd Trump, hey? In the major final.
52.
Yeah, the referee may need roller skates.
Yeah, I don't know who's doing it yet, actually. I don't know who's been confirmed, but oh, it's going to be a great day, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a terrific semi-final lineup. We were guaranteed a great final, whoever came through.
68.
But a real treat in store for the crowd. Two players who love to attack,
69.
who never take a backward step. They played a lot of exhibition snooker in the last couple of years, Trump and O'Sullivan together. Both very respectful of the other's talents.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be competitive, but I'm sure it's going to be fun as well. Because these two boys like to entertain. Well, even John likes to entertain, but you know what I'm saying, Ronnie against Judd.
Well, we haven't had a century today. Ronnie O'Sullivan's best, a run of 79. Several other telling contributions.
83.
But he could be going out in style here.
Nicely in behind the final red.
91.
The crowd eager to see him do it.
Yeah. Just one. Thank you. 98.
Just the green then. And the Shanghai roof will be raised. It's been another superb exhibition from Ronnie O'Sullivan. He's been clinical when he's had his chances by and large. He certainly thoroughly outplayed John Higgins in all departments today. And I reckon 6-2 ultimately is about right.
110.
We expected something rather closer, but Higgins not able to bring his A game to the party. And you have to against this guy. The way he's playing right now, nothing less will do. Higgins disappointed, but he'll dust himself down, get ready for Belfast next week. Ronnie O'Sullivan will look forward to a final with Judd Trump. What an occasion that promises to be as these two titans of the game shake hands. Ronnie O'Sullivan with his 4th win of the season over the wizard John Higgins. That takes some doing. He'll take some stopping in the final, but so will Judd Trump. It promises to be a great occasion over the best of 19 frames. Ronnie O'Sullivan winning emphatically 6-2.